Guys, welcome back to the Moon Project, episode 72. Today we're talking about the quad and hip flexors and how we can lengthen those tissues. A lot of times we get really short because we're constantly in this position, okay, seated. My muscles are going to adapt and those tissues are going to shorten, and then when I stand up, it's not going to be easy, okay? Those tissues, they start at my lumbar spine and then they come all the way down to my hip, and then the quads go from the hip all the way to the knee. If I'm in full extension and those tissues are shortened and they're already having to play tug of war with my spine and hip, and I want it to be easy for me to be in this tall extended position. So what we're going to do is give you a test. The test, okay, is going to be the couch stretch, which is a movement that we did early on in episodes. So the couch stretch, I put my foot on the cushion, all right, the top of the couch. I draw my knee as close to the couch as I can. All right, I'm going to brace my midsection, shift forward, see how far forward I can shift, and shift back, all right? If I can't do this movement comfortably with my knee pressed all the way up against the couch, then I know that I've got some shortened hips and quads. Same thing on the right side. While you're doing this test of sorts, you're trying to decide if you have an asymmetry right and left. You're trying to figure out if you're a little bit tighter in your quads and hips, and then from there, try to roll in those spots that feel the tightest. For me, I know that it's up in the top of my hip. So, first thing that we're going to do, you got a couple choices. I've got the Supernova, which is the bomb, or you can use the crossball for this, but I'm going to go ahead and use it because I have it. I'm going to start up toward the top of my hip, rolling. I'm going to try to get my adductors, even the top of the IT band, and smash in all those tissues. We've talked a lot about soft tissue work. Remember, you can go side to side, up and down, and when you feel a really tight spot, a really tender spot, you can change the length by bending and straightening your knee, okay? Another piece that we want to address is the psoas. We talked about this early on as well. When I lie down, I find my belly button, I find my hip bone, I draw a line, I'm going to go into the center of that line, push deep because this attaches into my spine, and then if I feel a contraction when I flex my hip, I know I'm on the right band of tissue. Alright, from there, stick the lacrosse ball in that spot, get down on your stomach. I like to draw my spine up into extension and try to smash into it the same way that we did in the top of the quad, okay? After I spend a couple minutes on each side, focusing on the most tender spots, I'm going to go ahead and roll a little bit more generally down this tissue, focusing on all parts of the anterior leg, and I'm just going to find every other piece that I wasn't able to find with those smaller tools. So if I feel a tender spot, I'm going to bend that knee 5-10 times on that tender spot and continue to roll. Alright, so we're trying to do all our soft tissue stuff to kind of work out all the kinks and goose eggs. When I get done with that, we've got a new tool. You have the equipment, like a bench and some bands. This is awesome, okay? PNF stretching is the way to go. So what I'm going to do is put the red band on top of my knee and the nice big thick band just above my shoe. Alright, pretty excited about this. Gives you a really good, effective way to do a contract, relax without a partner. What I'm going to do is get my hips at the way end of the bench. You can see how this kind of gets my back into extension, which I do not want. So how I can fight that is to draw my knee in towards my chest. I'm going to hold this tight, and then what I'm going to do for 5 seconds is kick my right leg forward and drive my knee up against the tension of the band. 5 seconds, breathe through it, really use your strength, and then release, let go, and allow the band to pull you. For me, I feel a stretch all the way up by the hip. For others, you may feel it towards your knee. So quad and hip should begin to stretch somewhere in there. And then you do it again. Drive up 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. The band should be pulling you back from your foot and down from your knee, and kind of lengthening all those tissues from your knee all the way up towards your lower abdomen. Once you get done with those, 5 reps on each side, focus on asymmetries. My left side's worse. Do 8 to 10 on that side. And then I'm just going to retest out the couch stretch. So I'll get here, push my weight back, shift it forward. I should be feeling a little bit more loose. I'm just doing a couple reps. I feel so much better. Okay, make sure that everything that you do in this sequence you do with a braced spine, because you don't want to be finding that range of motion from your back. It's all coming from your hip. This is a really, really important sequence today because all these tissues tend to be really, really tight. Runners, bikers, lifters, and the people that are sedentary because they're sitting all day long. So work on this stuff and let me know how it goes. Good luck.